What's up, guys? It's Brian from Hasher Hub. It's about 10:20 p.m. Eastern Time, March 5th, 2018. Bitcoin trading video is what's going on. Bitcoin. And if you're new to us, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and get your behind over to Steemit and DTube. Links are down below. Come on, guys. Get over there. Yeah, we are obviously trying to build up that following there as well. Like even today, we posted on DTube and Steemit well before we posted on YouTube, just because of the fact that DTube finished the uploading first. So anyway, we also had our giveaway today, and we'll have one this upcoming weekend again. So, yeah, make sure you follow us and hit that subscribe button. We got lots of cool TA stuff to talk about. And so let's get right into that right now. Interesting day. Interesting days. Lots of interesting stuff going on. Some of it a little scary if you're kind of new to the markets. I could see it being a little, weary of some of these market moves. And I see that word market manipulation being thrown around quite a bit. You know, all markets are manipulated one way or the other. And this is, I guess, one of the arguments when I first started trading years and years and years ago professionally. And I already had quite a few years underneath my belt. And the guy that I was studying under, which is at a very large financial institution, which actually is now out of business, but and he just said, you could drive yourself crazy with every freaking news story underneath the sun, or you could just forget them all and then just realize that all the information is in the chart. And he goes, the same goes true for manipulation. And yeah, okay, even if you're sitting at a bank like I was, actually it wasn't a bank, it was a financial institution is what you would call it. Even if you're sitting there and people would look at us like we're the ones that are manipulating. Okay, so everybody is subject to it. And people think that, I'm sitting over at, GS, and Morgan Stanley calls me up and says, hey, it's time for us to buy. Let's buy together. And okay, cool, let's buy. Yeah, no, everybody will be thrown in jail. Okay, it's not as straightforward as that at the very least. I'm not trying to say that there's not some sort of collusion or there's not some sort of some sort of manipulation. Sometimes it's merely the fact that they are all trading in a similar fashion, and they're all, trained, in a similar way. So they're all going to kind of, think in a similar way. So when certain things happen, then they may all buy or they may all sell. They may all come to similar conclusions at the same time. So, believe me, I'm not completely naive of things that happen in that vein. I mean, I used to sit in those seats, so I'm not naive to any of this. But at the same time, you drive yourself nuts if you go ahead and try to, if you just try to go ahead and try to say, oh, it's manipulation, it can't be figured out. Well, no, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. You're not concentrating on the right things. So what I would tell you is shut the TV off, put your phone away, and just study the charts. Clear everything out of your mind. Just study the charts. So that's my 2-second rant on that. So let's move on to the charts. Okay, so I actually cleaned up. Yeah, guys, this is me like cleaning house, right? This is pretty much as simple as it ever gets for me. So cleaning house. So we had drawn this rising wedge, right, with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in it. And another thing I want to mention too is that I got quote unquote corrected by a bunch of people saying that things are overlapping here. Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3, Rule 4. In a rising or descending wedge, as far as Elliott wave theory is concerned, yes, they can overlap. That's not a problem at all. It's strict from the man himself. It is okay to do that. So, we had originally drawn it like this. And so we had, obviously a big, the markets had sold off through it, right? And then, I wouldn't have thought to redraw this all. It's not redrawn yet. I'm going to show you how I'm going to redraw it. If the market had gone down, okay? But the market went up again, like in a large fashion, right? It big, and then it continued to go up, and I was like, man, this just seems a little odd, right? And then we had our video, and when we had our video, I had drawn this line right here, right? This upper line right here, and I was like, well, maybe it could be like the top of some sort of wedge, right? And then the market moved along, and as things were going throughout the day, I drew this other line right here, and we have this small little triangle. Okay, just bear with me. I'm going to loop back in. It'll all make sense here, right? And then I looked at this, and I was like, well, okay, so A, B, C, D, E, right, and up. Oh shoot. Okay. Cool. Ton of volume came in, right? And these are the candles where people are saying, oh, there's so much market manipulation, like right here and right here. Okay, you use basic Elliott wave theory. It tells you this thing's going to move up. And it did. It moved right up. Now remember where we are. The top here, the top where it moved up to, this high is 11,688. Even. Okay? Let's zoom out here. Sorry, zoomed out a little too much. So that high here has not eclipsed the high right here. The high right here is called 11,775, right around here, right around there. Okay. So, A, B, C, D, E. Market moved up. Market came back down again. So, as we were going through this, right, I'm like, wait a second. The market moved up here. Let me see if I can draw this wedge any better. Does it make sense? Does it start putting things into better context? Because clearly we're making a higher high here, right? And even here too, right? So take a look at this, and I'm like, well, I could draw this like this. It really doesn't look half bad. These things don't need to be like 100% perfect by any means, right? This could happen. So then I said, well, all right. Well, then maybe this really didn't pierce down all that much. Maybe this is just like a bear trap. It's just masked in kind of like some sideways momentum, and then, the market kind of came back in. It was, bouncing back around. And then it pierced through the bottom of this. And this is the sell-off we were looking for, right? This is what we were thinking was going to happen here, right? But it didn't happen till here. Well, wait a second. Why didn't it happen to there? Well, maybe the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wasn't done just yet. Maybe this really is 5. Okay? And maybe this really is 4, and this really is 3. Well, you know something? It looks a lot better to me. I know this is a very big one, but that's okay. You can have an extended one, as long as the third wave is not the shortest. Right? As long as the third wave is not the shortest. And even before this, even before the market had sold off, I would have gone ahead and I would have tried to redraw this, right? Let's say the market didn't sell off. I would have redrawn this anyway. And then I would have gone it because I would have seen this triangle right here, and I would have said, well, let me see if I can fit this into a larger wedge, and what does it look like? And one thing I want to mention here. Okay, so when you draw a wedge, right? you only have a part of the picture. Okay, and then as more information comes in, you have to go ahead and change that. Okay, you have to go ahead and change that. It's exactly what you do, 100%. So if the market hadn't fallen off, you still would have gone ahead and you would have done this. Anyway, so it fell off, and where did it come down to? It busted right through our 1 hour, hidden support. We're gonna go ahead and delete that. Okay. It came down and it kissed our 4 hour support, the 11,200. Immediately when it first came down, it came down and it touched. The low here was 11,200, spot 93. And we assumed 11,200. So pretty damn close. We were off by about 93 cents. And the market seems to be hovering here for right now. Okay, it seems to clearly understand that there is something here. And we drew this a while ago. Okay, so if this is the first video you ever saw, you can go back to our last video. I think that's when we updated it last. We updated it last. So it was sometime around here. So a great thing to know, right? So originally, remember, we wanted to have some sort of we were looking for a trade set up here if this were to pierce down below, right? Go back, I think, 2 or 3 videos. In a similar fashion here, right? In a similar fashion here, so ABCDE, this thing had a big candle up, right? And you could have said, well, big candle up, but we still have this right here, right? We still have this high right here. And this is a wedge, large wedge that is coming to an end, and this is a bearish wedge. Okay, this small thing may have been bullish, and we got a little tick up, a large candle up, but on magnitudes of order, you need to respect this larger one first, right? So this literally went up. It almost touched this top line right here, right? And then it came back down. So you could have said, okay, let me go ahead and try to play this, right? Let me try to go ahead and play this. And you said, well, the top is here, right? This is kind of where I would start my laddering, 11,765. But I would start laddering down, and I would start laddering up. So let's say maybe I only would have gotten on like 10, 15% of my position as a short. My initial target would have been this 11,200. My stop loss, right? My stop loss would have been somewhere around here. Right? My stop loss would have been maybe a little bit higher. My stop loss would have been like 12,000, maybe 130. I probably would have eyeballed it somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere around there. Maybe this top right here. This top at about 12,000. Yeah, so somewhere around there. So that's how I would bracket out this trade as I saw it happening. And this would have been my target zone right here, and I would kept on at least a portion of it to see if it fell even further. And my second target zone would be right here at this top at this is 11,064. Yeah, 11,064. So that's the way I would look to go about trading that. So next thing I want to go over is 24-hour volume. 24-hour. Well, actually, before that, let's take a look at our friendly channel over here. What's going on with our friend in the channel? Okay. Yeah, I mean, not much really to say. Laguerre RSI, did a pretty good job. I gotta hand it to it. It actually was crossing into selling territory, quite a few candles before this large sell-off. So you definitely would have had a chance to get in. No question if you were trading based on the Laguerre. And even over here, I mean, you could have easily gone ahead and looked to take a short here as well. If you didn't even know about this whole ABCDE thing. But if you watch my videos, you better know about the ABCDE. Yeah, and even over here too, wouldn't have been a bad trade at all. Not ideal for risk purposes, but hey, it's good enough. So we are below the 55 EMA. We crashed right below it, like a hot knife through warm butter. We went right through it. We're sitting now right now on the 200 moving average. One of these days I'll get it down. Sorry. The 200 moving average. We're basically sitting right on top of it. Actually, below it. And we're sitting right on top of this 11,200 4-hour support zone that we've mentioned before. So next thing I want to take a look at is maybe we'll look at this on a 2-hour basis. What does it look like on a 2-hour basis? So I'm not a big head and shoulders guy, and I'm not talking about dandruff, okay? I just don't like using them all that much. Why the hell does this thing freeze? Thanks, appreciate it. I see people all over the place drawing like this as something like this as the neckline, right? And I don't like it. Oh, I totally forgot to mention something. Guys. Oh, come on, TradingView. Sorry, guys. Come on, stop being a little biatch. All right. Totally forgot to mention something. What I forgot to mention is that possibly this could be the fifth. Okay, much larger fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be the large 5. Not that 5. The V here. Okay? Ideally, I'd like it to get up here somewhere. Right around this 12,000, actually 13,000, which is, comes to this peak right here. Right? Ideally, I'd like it to get up here. But it may be here. And yes, I do know that this is lower than this. It can happen. There can be truncated fifth waves. It can absolutely happen. And if I draw this as this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what makes me more confident that there's a good possibility that this may actually be the end of the fifth wave is the fact that we have a wedge formation here. The wedge has to terminate, and it looks like it's terminated. It looks that way to me. I mean, maybe I can redraw it a different way. Yeah, maybe. But right now, that's kind of what I'm going with. So sorry, let's go back to head and shoulders. TradingView still not working on the y-axis. All right. So something like this is the neckline, right? Something like this. And I don't like it. I just don't like head and shoulders. Head, left shoulder, I guess, and right shoulder. I'd like to see more volume on the right shoulder. Definitely more volume on the right shoulder than the left shoulder. Or this is the left shoulder. I don't even know. Really. I'm sorry, guys. I don't even know. But I hear people talking about it all the time. Yeah, I think this is the left shoulder. This is the right shoulder. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. This here is supposed to be the little volume of the left shoulder. Okay, obviously there's a lot of volume for the head, and then the right shoulder. This is supposed to It's just too easy. It's just too easy. So what I would say though, and we had seen this somewhere else before. I think it was here. Yeah, here, right? Everybody was like, "Oh, it's an inverted head and shoulders." Okay. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's just the way that I just don't trade like that. But what I would say is that this neckline here that everybody was talking about, the inverted head and shoulders, is really just this line right here. Okay, and possibly there's something to be said for the one here. For this larger one right here. And I haven't extended it out, but so let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, okay. You could say it touches here, this that besides the wick right here, it touches the body here, it touches here. I mean, clearly some congestion here. The marker came up, like ran right into it here. It tried to get up above it here. Actually ran into it right here again. Tried to get above it here. Broke down below it. Had some congestion right here. Tried to get up above it again. Okay, and then now we're here where we are. So I would say it's really just some sort of trend line. And forget about the fact that it's a neck. Goodbye, neck. Next. Can you guys tell I wrote a list today? Oh yeah. Next thing I want to mention. Sorry, I need to get some sleep. I'm getting a little giddy. Is the fact that I happened to be listening to one of my videos because I wanted to check something that I had done. I wanted to make sure I didn't say something stupid. And I was watching a different video on YouTube, a completely different subject, nothing to do with cryptocurrency. Actually has to do with some home repair type thing. And I was watching the video at a speed of 1.25 because I just could not bear how slowly this person was talking. And I was watching my video in that same window, and I'm like, man, I sound pretty good. I'm actually going at a pretty good pace, which I always try to do. And then I looked in the bottom corner, and so it was a 1.25. So at the bottom right-hand corner, if you guys have never used this feature on YouTube, on the bottom right-hand corner, I shouldn't be saying this about myself, but because I tend to be a little slow. I think I'm getting better. I think I'm getting faster. But I tend to be a little slow with delivering the message. The bottom right-hand side, I think I sound really good at 1.25. If I do say so myself. That little gear, click on it, and I think you have to select speed, select 1.25. I think 1.5 is a little too fast, but 1.25 is good. So I think that's where we're pretty much going to leave it off right now. Maybe let's just go ahead and look at it on a daily basis. This has gone on way too long. Daily volumes is down. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Does not make me feel all nice, warm, and fuzzy inside. Our daily support is still this, 10,175. Boom, right here. Where is our 55 EMA? Right here, red line. Red line, 55 EMA. We still have a ways to go to get to it, if we do get to it. But, yeah, only time can tell. Oh, the other thing I want to mention is our comment with regards to semi-log charts. So some people seem to be a little confused. Have we broken out? Have we not broken out? That is the question, okay? That is the question. Have we actually broken out or not? There are several schools of thought regarding using log and semi-log charts versus just pure linear charts. It's just based on the way you want to trade. Shorter term traders tend to just not even know that a log or semi-log chart even exists. Longer term traders tend to go ahead and wanna look at it in that basis. If you're not familiar with log or semi-log charts, I would just say Google it really quick, but it's just a way to go ahead and look at longer term charts on a more relative basis where everything is looked at on a percentage change versus or everything's represented on a percentage change versus it being represented in absolute change. So yeah, that's really about it for right now. We are on an overbought territory on a daily basis as far as the Laguerre RSI is concerned. And yeah, that's about it. Have a great day, guys. Happy trading. Sleep tight. And speak to you soon.